Greetings, I'm Tanya.
Hi, I'm Bill, and together we are
Empty Casket Paranormal.
I've been interested in the paranormal ever since I was a kid, having grown up in a haunted house. I joined my first ghost hunting group when I was in college. We did it mostly for fun and to explore certain areas, and we did get to explore Centralia, Pennsylvania, and Gettysburg, and some other local places around the college. But it sparked an undying interest for me in the paranormal and paranormal investigation, so I continued to do that, mostly on my own, and sometimes with my brother. After what was probably my 8th trip to Gettysburg, this time with Tanya, and as always centered around paranormal investigation, we decided that we should form our own group, give ourselves a little bit more legitimacy, and give us the opportunity to dive deeper than either of us ever did on our own. And that is when Empty Casket Paranormal was formed.
Well, as for me, ghosts, goblins, and all things unexplained and mysterious have been part of my life since I was a kid. Growing up, my grandfather used to teach me about different historical ghost stories and used to tell me different tales and legends. And he also introduced me to learning about the phenomenons in science and unique things that would occur in our world. My grandmother, she taught me all things about horror, and we used to watch a lot of unsolved mysteries and got really involved with the UFOs and Bigfoot and things like that. And with my mother, she kind of taught me more on the magical side. She was very into herbalism. She taught me earth magic, and we would study together all those really ancient things. And so I was able to actually dabble in a bit of everything at one point, but I never really found my niche. That wasn't until I met Bill. Our love story is, a series of synchronicities that came together in such a divine way, and it really ignited my passion for the paranormal again, something that was once upon a time forgotten. And meeting him, I was able to kind of reignite that. And not only did that spark my passion again, it showed that we had the same theories, we had the same opinions, and we had the same type of passion. And we're compelled to go forward and do investigations and look for answers. And it's so wonderful right now to have someone to do those things.
So we've decided that instead of talking about ourselves and describing our own personality, that we would talk about each other. So Tanya is the heart of Empty Casket Paranormal. She loves to joke around and have a good time while investigating, while keeping things professional and focused on the task at hand. She does not jump to the paranormal conclusion, ever. She always looks for a more mundane and natural explanation before moving on to paranormal. Neither of us claim to have any level of psychic or mediumship abilities. However, Tanya is empathic. With her career in the healthcare field, she has developed a openness for emotions and feelings that benefit both the client and the spirits, and she uses that so that she can help move on the spirits and to find peace for the client and the spirit.
Well, as for Bill, there's nothing ugly about him. He is absolutely perfect in almost every way. As I said before, there's not enough adjectives to describe how wonderful he is, but brilliant is definitely one of those. He is the brains of Empty Casket. He is obviously a scientist, and he has a very logical mindset, but he also has a compassionate mindset as well. He approaches things with the desire to want to seek answers and to believe, but he's also very steady and stable. He also is an amazing inventor and creator. He has taken our equipment and has modified it. So instead of buying stuff off the websites and everything, he says, I can do it myself. I can make these. And he does. And not only does he make them, he also modifies them to be better. So it's always wonderful to have him and to come to him for ideas and thoughts, and he will look at it and be like, yeah, we can do that, it might work. And he will always research on those things. And he's also a very genuine and compassionate person. He is the first person to come running when someone needs help. He will put his whole heart and soul into making sure someone's problems are resolved, and he will do it at 110%. He never half-asses anything. He's absolutely wonderful.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. It's all true.
So what makes us stand out from other ghost hunters? Well, even though we use similar techniques and similar equipment, ours comes in the shape of a coffin.
So what truly makes us unique is that we are not 100% believers, nor are we 100% skeptical. We fall right in that middle, where we want to experience something awesome, but we want to approach it with a logical mindset. And something that we also like to do is, though we are in our infancy, we want to have our community involved. We want to reach out amongst all other groups to bring them in to gather data.
That's right. And we're not just limiting ourselves to the idea of ghosts and the paranormal, but we believe that all of these mysteries, all this high strangeness, Bigfoot, UFOs, ultra-terrestrials, ancient legends, that if we could bring all of these communities together and use similar techniques and belief systems all coming together, that we can find the truth of what that we all seek, the answers of what is reality. Now, like many paranormal investigators, we use the voice recorders, full spectrum cameras, and EMF meters. However, what sets us out apart from the rest a little bit is some of the other equipment we use. I have a degree in electrical engineering, and I've spent the last 13 years working as a electromagnetics engineer for various defense contractors. And using my education and my background, them being firmly rooted in the sciences and with the scientific method, and with EMF or electromagnetic fields being a big part of ghost hunting, and that being something I work with on a daily basis, there's a lot of room to grow. So, some of the other equipment that we use are data loggers. This one in particular logs temperature, pressure, and humidity constantly throughout the night so we can see changes. Additionally, we have electromagnetic data loggers. This does not just do EMF, which is mostly just a magnetic field anyway. This does electric field and RF radiation. We are looking to get a spectrum analyzer, something that I use at work all the time. And what that will allow us to do is to take the EMF, the magnetic fields, the electric fields that we measure, and find the actual frequency that they're running at. And this could open up all kinds of doors in terms of equipment and the theories of the paranormal.
So equipment aside, we also look at our external and internal environments. We look at our astrological conditions, the seasons, the weather. We also look at our internal environment. We have created a form that measures different things, such as our physical well-being. How, like, when we are going into an investigation, how are we physically feeling? Are we sick? Do we have any ailments or injuries? Also, mentally, are we depressed that day? Are we sad? Did something happen to affect our mood? Anything like that may cause different changes, or how we may be approaching the investigation, and also to see if that does affect what we receive in return.
We believe in the full spectrum of energy. That's both the good and the bad. And like people, spirits or entities are not fully good or bad, but have layers. And we look to unmask those layers to get to the truth. You can have a good spirit who is angry or confused or is upset that he's not being heard and could lash out. That doesn't make it a bad spirit. On the other hand, you could have a malicious spirit who starts off by wanting to help you and making you feel comfortable and drawing you in. And
Just whacked me.
as you often see in demonic cases. But what we're trying to do is to find the truth of the matter, and so that we can help, again, both our client and the entity.
As Bill said before, we are not claiming to be psychic. We're not claiming to be mediums. We don't have special abilities. We are just truly raw, genuine people who have a great passion for the paranormal. And we want every opportunity to be able to go out and to investigate and to overall help others. If anything, we are a very compassionate team. And that's, aside from Empty Casket alone, I have spent many years in the healthcare field. I'm currently involved in that. And I spent my time taking care of people who are geriatric and who are disabled. My my passion was at one point to be in hospice care, and I wanted to be a hospice doula, which is someone who supports the person who is, transitioning on passing away, and their families, to help them have a more peaceful and calm transition from life to death. Unfortunately, I have not been able to be on that path right now, but I'm hoping to use my experiences in the healthcare field and how I've spent time with people who have been ready to pass on, or who were spending their last years and months in my company, to help them, come to a peace and come to, some a calmness in their life. I'm hoping that I can transition that over into this field, because just like people, spirits have confusion. They have, misunderstandings. They are lost and confused and alone and sad, and they still experience those emotions. And hopefully I can help bring them to some form of peace. And just like Bill, he is a very compassionate person, and he wants to, give his all to help not just the spirits, but also the people who may be affected by these phenomenons. Whether we can come to a scientific conclusion of it being something that is naturally occurring, or it is a spiritual thing. We want to help everyone involved to find answers and to find peace.
So we would like to thank you for watching our video and getting to know us a little better and putting up with my bird. So thank you very much. We hope that you consider us for your paranormal show. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.